Hello and welcome back to Budget with Becca. In this video, we are going to be closing out my February budget. So going over my budget planner, going through my savings challenges, my debt update, and my emergency fund update. I cannot believe how fast the month of February has gone. I feel like I'm finally in a good groove with all of this budgeting and my financial situation and my ideas on that. And a lot has happened this month. I got a pay raise. I was able to put that money into action, as well as I think I finally have an understanding of how I want to be doing my cash dividers and my cash envelopes. I was able to make new envelopes, plus I can see a little bit of growth in my YouTube channel, which I'm so grateful for. So if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. If you are new, please click that subscribe button. I do end of the month budget ending, I do cash stuffing, I do budgeting, I do anything that all has to do with financial freedom and financial mindset. I am a 25-year-old Canadian girly, and I am learning all about finances, and I wanted to share my knowledge and what I'm learning on YouTube. So that is why I started this channel, and I'm so happy and so excited and so grateful for the growth that it has made. So let's get started with closing out the month of February. All right, so to start out closing out this month, I want to look over my trackers and see the progress that I made on my savings challenges, my debt payoff, and my emergency fund saving. My emergency fund saving is new for this month, and I will explain that when we get to that tracker. So first off is my savings challenge. Every Saturday, I move over $200 from my checking account to my savings account. I already budget for that. I just wait until the Saturday to move it over just in case there's any small emergency that I need to use that money for. It is there, but every Saturday I move that amount over. So this was the month of January, and this is how much I was able to put in for the month of February. As you can see, it's not as much as January because February is a shorter month. So I was able to put $200, $400, $600, $800, which is amazing, into my savings challenge for this month. So that's exciting. So exactly the right amount I was able to move over for my savings challenge. All right, now we're going into my emergency fund, and this is a new challenge that I've started. What I was doing is I was rolling over the money from my cash dividers each month, and I decided I didn't need to do that. I was having a lot of money rolled over that I wanted to put to savings instead, and since I'm still in debt, I wanted to put that money towards that. So I decided that I would start an emergency fund envelope, and what I have done is if it is a 10 or a 20 from my cash dividers, I take that out and I put it in this emergency fund envelope. I currently have $3,000 in my emergency fund, but I want to build that up to $5,000 because that's the math that I created. That's roughly around the 3-month mark of what I need for my expenses if anything happens where I can't work or I'm not able to make an income. I wanted to have that safety net. So I need $2,000 more to get to that $5,000 mark. So I'm deciding to use one of the debt-free charts just to track my progress. And currently I have $210 in this envelope. Because of the pay raise that I had, I was able to take an extra $100 out when I was budgeting that I put towards this emergency fund of the last pay. And also I take out, or not I, the bank moves over $100 from my primary banking to my savings fund bank account. I have 2 separate bank accounts for that. So automatically $100 gets moved over, but I also wanted to save up more so I can get to that $2,000 mark faster. So I'm going to be doing that. I'll be collecting it here and tracking it here. My plan is to collect as much as I can in this envelope and then do a big reveal when I get to that 2,000 mark. And it'd be cool to see how the cash fills up this envelope. So that is my starter emergency fund. It's more than a starter for me. It's coming up to $5,000, but that's what I want to do. And then when I've reached this this emergency fund goal, I want to move it into my debt snowball, which I don't really have a snowball, but I want to put more money towards my debt. And that's what brings us to our next tracker. Our next tracker is my debt payoff tracker. So I've done lots of videos on this, so I will put that in the card for you to go look at. But just as a quick summary is my debt is all consolidated into one big debt, and that is $50,000. This is the money that I pay to my parents monthly at the end of each month, so I make sure that I budget appropriately for that. So currently it says $500 per block. But what I do is I send $1,400 because that's just the math that my family and I sat down with. That works for me for budgeting. So $1,400 gets sent over each month, but the boxes here are for $500. So it says $1,500. So what I do on the back is I just calculate the amount and how much. So February 2022, I sent them 14, and the total of towards my debt is now $2,800, which is kind of crazy that I'm sending that money over when that could be money to myself, but we move on, we move forward. That's why I'm paying it off, so that this money, oh, sorry, I just hit my camera. This money is money that can be in my pocket later on. So I decided to do 2 separate debt payoff trackers. I want to do this one and the Detrus. I just like this one because you can color in more pieces. But again, this one is by 500s or by 50s when this one is 500. So I will be coloring a little bit more, and at a certain point it will add up when it reaches the right amount, where I won't be coloring 3 boxes, I might be coloring in 2. But I'm tracking it this way and tracking it that way. So that is my debt payoff, my emergency funds, and my saving challenge update. This was the first full month that I used a budget planner as my tracking system and my budgeting system. I love, love, love this planner. I love how it's outlined, easy to follow. It comes with a calendar, the stickers, everything. I enjoy sitting down and just putting in the information, especially with my expense tracking. I've been really, really focused on that. That was a goal for me this month, and I think I've been able to hit that. So to open up my tracker, we look at, my budget planner. We're gonna look at the calendar for the month of February. Something new that I decided to do, because the next month is gonna be a little different, is and I've seen this from other budgeters, but they highlight all the days that that paycheck is going to hit. So if there is anything that you're need to pay, maybe it's on the 7th, you want to see what paycheck that is going to be coming out of. Maybe you just need it for the first paycheck, and the second paycheck you don't have to worry about it, but it's good to kind of see this is the block that that paycheck hits, and then this is the block that that paycheck is for. So I've decided to start color coordinating it that way. So for the month of February, I budgeted on the days that I specifically said. Those are up on my channel if you would like to take a look, as well as the cash stuffings on payday and the payday oh my goodness, the day I paid off my debt is also here. Today's actually the 25th, so I paid it a day early. It's a snow day for me, so I decided to get ahead on a lot of my budgeting, my finance stuff. So I was able to do that. One of my goals for this month was open RRSP. I spoke with my bank and I spoke with my family, and I just kind of did some reflecting on my own. I don't want to be doing it for this year. I want to be doing it for the 2022 RSP year, tax year. So that'll be, I'm going to open it maybe at the end of March. So even though that was a goal, I did the research, so I would give myself a check on making sure that was done, but I will not open that until the end of March, early April. So now it's time, to move on to the month of March. Now, an amazing thing about the month of March is I have 3 paychecks. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I've heard of these 3 paychecks that happen in 1 month, but I've never experienced it, and now I'm going to experience it. The beauty of this is that these 2 paychecks will cover my debt, and this paycheck will have to cover my daily expenses, but I won't have to put money away for the debt. So this will be like an extra paycheck with extra money that I can put towards savings, put towards my emergency fund. We'll see when I decide to budget for that, what I want to do with the money at the end of the month. So that is so exciting. 3 paychecks this month. I cannot wait. The other thing is I have the big trip of Cuba in the middle of this month of March coming up. So I won't be really spending much of my day-to-day pay because I'm going to an all-inclusive place and it's all going to be paid for. So it'll be interesting to see how all of this will reflect in my budgeting, maybe more money towards my emergency fund. Maybe I won't budget as much towards my day-to-day my day-to-day expenses. It'll be more towards my sinking funds and my debt. So this is the outline for the month of March. Payday's on the 3rd. I will be putting up a budgeting and a cash stuffing video, and then I will be budgeting the second paycheck after my trip in March break. Sorry, I'm really tripping over my words today for this video. So that will be hoping on the 21st of March. And then we have an extra special paycheck as well. All right, so that is how I end my month and close out all the budgeting stuff. I go through my trackers, I go through my budget planner, I go through my emergency sinking funds and my other sinking funds, and I kind of plan and prep and reflect on the month and plan for the month ahead. So like I showed you my calendar for the month of February, some new tricks that I learned that I'm going to put towards my month of March. And speaking of the month of March, I am also starting a little bit of a side hustle. I just found out today actually that I got hired as a tutor, which is really exciting. I am a teacher, if you did not know, so I was looking at what other ways that I can make an income. If you do any research on budgeting and the budget community, they always say if you're in that baby step number 2, then you have to kind of supplement your income. So I looked this month, I was able to get a pay raise. I was able to put that money into action as well as get a side hustle. So that'll be starting in the month of March, and hopefully we'll see that reflected in my budget and in my cash stuffings very, very soon. I most likely will do a separate video on my side hustle income, and my plan is to put that towards my emergency fund, my debt, and my sinking funds, and then fund my main income with my daily expenses. So that is the plan. I'm so excited to kind of start that process and share all of that with everyone on YouTube. So thank you again for watching this video. Thank you again for supporting me and supporting this channel. I'm so excited to see this channel grow and see what other things come up with the budgeting community and what I decide to do with budgeting. So thank you so much for watching. Sorry that I was tripping over my words a lot this video. It's just been a long month, long month, and I am ready to start the month of March. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all doing well. Bye.